Math 76, lesson 117, mass and weight. So the difference between mass and weight, okay? So weight is how much an object weighs. So when you step on a scale, the number that it gives you is how much you weigh. Mass is the amount of the density, or how much matter is in an object. Like, for example, here I've got this little foam eraser, right? If I were to compare this foam eraser to a similar sized block of wood, right? They seem to have pretty similar sizes. This one's a little bit taller, but that one's a little bit wider, right? So the volumes are about the same size, right? The difference in size is negligible. However, if you were to hold them, this foam weighs almost nothing, right? I can barely feel it's in my hand, but this wooden block definitely has some weight. You can even hear the difference if I drop them. Let's put my speaker down to the table. Like, I don't even know if you heard that, but oh, you definitely heard that, right? So you can tell this one has more mass, this one has less mass, okay? So mass is more like weight as it's compared to the size of an object, right? So even though these are similar sizes, this one has more mass, this one has less mass, okay? So that's a little concept as far as mass goes. Also, the mass of an object changes depending on where you are. So like, for example, your mass on the moon is much less than it is on Earth because the pull of gravity is less on the moon. But that's a little bit of a distinction between the words mass and weight. Now, the other thing we have to learn and memorize some new unit multipliers of metric weights. So metric weights, we have to learn grams. There are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram, and there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, right? So here they show you the gram is about the weight of a paperclip. So if I have a paperclip, this is about the weight of a gram, okay? Now this is a little bit different for us because we're used to doing things in ounces and pounds and tons, right? So a gram is about the weight, a paperclip is about the weight of a gram, and then your math textbook is about the weight of a kilogram, right? So if you pick up your Math 76 textbook, this is about 1 kilogram. Now let's convert that to ounces and pounds, right? So ounces, the way that we can measure an ounce is about the same weight as an envelope, right? So if you were to go pick up a letter in an envelope, that's about the weight of an ounce. Let me see here. And that's a little bit heavier than a gram, okay? So ounces weigh more than grams. I don't think I have an envelope handy. That's unfortunate. Well, but you guys know the general size of a letter. And then when it comes to a pound, for a pound they say a shoe. I think that's more of an adult shoe, not so much a child shoe. You know, but I mean, we should all have a pretty good idea of how much a pound weighs. A pound is 16 ounces, right? And we've also got a ton, right? So we've got 16 ounces a pound, 2,000 pounds in a ton. So it's kind of hard to visualize how much a 2,000 pound car weighs. Now in the book they say a small car. It's not true anymore. You know, it probably was back in the 90s, but now as materials get lighter and lighter, a small car is only about 1,200 to 1,500 pounds. Right? 1,200, 1,500, that's not 2,000. Now a full four-door car, a full-size four-door car is about 2,000 pounds, right? And then let's say your parents don't have a four-door car. Let's say your parents have a pickup truck. If you have a pickup truck like a Ford F-150 or a Dodge Ram or a Chevy Silverado, those big pickup trucks, those weigh about 5,000 pounds, or those are 2.5 tons, right? So that's a 2.5 ton pickup truck. Other weights, a lot of people have SUVs now, right? So let's see, what's the weight of a small SUV, like let's say like a Honda CRV. How much does a Honda CRV weigh? Well, a Honda CRV is about 3,000 pounds, so that's 1.5 tons. So you've got kind of an idea for how big these objects are now. Now let's talk about some addition and subtraction. So as it relates to our problems, we're going to have some mixed unit addition and subtraction problems using pounds, grams, etc. So that's why it's important you know these unit multipliers. So let's do an example problem, then we'll call it quits for this lesson because it's mostly understanding as opposed to working out the problem. So let's say we've got 9 pounds, 10 ounces. We have to subtract 7 pounds, 12 ounces. Okay. So none of these rules have changed. It's all the same rules that we've been using on our previous unit problems, like with feet and inches or hours and minutes. We have to subtract, and I can't subtract 12 ounces from 10 ounces, so I'm going to regroup. The 9 pounds becomes 8 pounds. And then I ask myself, how many ounces are in a pound? Well, that 1 pound that I'm regrouping turns into 16 ounces. I'm going to add those to 10. So now I have 26 ounces minus 12. All right, so 26 minus 12, that's 14 ounces. Great. 8 minus 7, that's 1 pound. So my final answer is 1 pound, 14 ounces, right? And then it would be vice versa for adding. If you get a number of ounces that's bigger than 16, you'd have to convert that to pounds. So memorize your new unit multipliers, and that's it for this lesson. If you guys have any questions, let me know on the school website, and I will see you in class.